Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to go ahead and get started on today's project. And as you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to work on a summer popsicle. So this is going to be really exciting. This is already pre-made. You could make your own if you're more comfortable. You could get a piece of wood and kind of cut it out to the shape that you want. But the good thing about craft stores, especially now, is they have so many different shapes, so many different cutouts of things that, I mean, by the time you do it yourself, you're spending the same exact money. So I say, why not get it already assembled and just make it your own? This popsicle is massive. You can see, I mean, it's huge. And this is the back if you wanted to put it on a wall. I mean, it's huge. This is from Hobby Lobby. I found it in like the spring shop section. It was kind of towards like the kids stuff, and they had watermelons, they had pineapples, I think they had a flamingo if I'm not mistaken, and then I saw this and it was the last one I had to get it. So this is the barcode there, and it is 9.96 by 24.09. So it is just over 2 feet tall. I mean, it's big. I'm gonna put this on my holiday tree, my seasonal tree that I always do. And I just think it's perfect. So you need this or something similar. You could make it smaller, of course, if you want to do a bunch of them and put them on your trees or your tiered trays. You could do that, but whatever you're gonna work with, you're gonna need the project, obviously. So a popsicle, you could even cut out your own foam and do it that way. Just get like foam and cut out the shape. Or you could use poster board. I mean, use what you got. And then of course you're gonna use your colors. I'm gonna start by painting the base all with chalk white. I think it just gives it, let's see if you could see, just gives it like a primed, it primes it first so that you're not just like layering the acrylic paint on. So I'm gonna do it with that. And then I have my red, white, and blue. I think what I was thinking is I think I'm gonna do this like really pretty sky blue almost, instead of the traditional cobalt blue, and then white. I was thinking it would even be really pretty in pastels too, but I think because it's gonna be like for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, like I'm keeping the tree up all summer in like that Americana theme. I think I'm gonna just stick with the red, white, and blues. And then for embellishments, I have this star. It's actually like a starfish, but it looks like a star. But I was thinking it's quite big, so it might be good to add some stars. And then I have this tiny cookie cutter that I was thinking I might just go in and kind of trace. So some type of embellishments. And then of course we got our diamond dust to add some glitter. And I have these, you may have seen these at Target. This was $3. It's these, what are they actually called? They're foam, large foam pieces. They come in like the dollar section there, the bullseye section. I got these last summer. I haven't seen them yet, but I think maybe in Hobby Lobby or Walmart has these. They're just little colored foam pieces, but see how they have the red, white, and blue in there? I'm thinking these will make really good big sprinkles, especially for the size of this. So I have these. You don't need them, but it's optional. And then I have just red sprinkles. These are kind of like my holiday pack, but you can see just red polymer clay sprinkles. And I think that's all we're gonna need. Of course, your paint brushes and Mod Podge, because once we let it dry, we're gonna go in and Mod Podge and then put our glitter on. So that should be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start painting this. If you had poster board, you could spray paint it. If you have styrofoam, you could use like air dry clay or foam clay. Use what you've got. But for us, because this is a wood piece, I'm gonna go ahead and get started and prep it and prime it and paint it with just completely all in this white chalk paint just to get it primed, and then we'll go over it with the colors of the red. Alright, y'all, so I just wanted you to see that it is primed in the white down to the handle. I didn't worry about the back, I just went around the sides a little. But that is usually chalk paint, just to kind of prime it so that when we put the acrylic colors on top, it just is a little more vibrant and you don't have to use as much because we have that base coat. All right, y'all, so we're going to go ahead and get started now that everything's primed. I decided, there I go, throwing things again. I decided that for the blue, I'm going to do this blue. It is by Anita's, which is from Hobby Light. And it is called Morning Blue. So it's not really it is a sky blue, but it's kind of like a baby blue. It's really, really pretty. I think it'll give a nice contrast with the traditional red. So I decided that I think I want to do the base blue, and then see these little divots that are there that kind of look like those old school popsicles. What did they call them? The red, white, and blue, like the bomb pops. That's what this reminds me of. I think I'm going to do these in red, the back, the majority in the blue, and then the top will be dripped with white, like the icing effect. So we're just going to go ahead and get started and get the blue going. And just go ahead and paint that. I already have my brushes. And because we put the white, remember, we shouldn't have to do, really, I'm hoping we don't even have to do 2 coats, but that white, it just gets down in that craft on the wood and makes it easier for us. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, y'all, so we got the blue. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. I'm glad I did that. Ooh, I'm getting paint on me. I'm glad I did that instead of the royal blue. So now we're going to go ahead and paint the middle with the red. I might let this dry for just a little bit, but then we're going to go ahead and do the middle with the red. I thought I'd show you this heat gun that I believe is my sister got this for me for a gift. It's MOVA heat tool. It's from Amazon. It just makes it so much easier to dry things, especially when you're impatient like me and you just want to get things done rather quickly. So I just go over this a few times, maybe 2 minutes or so, and it really just dries it almost instantly. So it's a great. Alright, y'all, let's do our red. I'm using a very tiny brush because this has these little oval shapes, as you can tell. So we're just going to go ahead and paint this red. This one's probably going to need a couple of coats. I can tell it's already a little transparent. Alright, y'all, here is the red with the blue, and that is already white up here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do acrylic paint up there as well, and then we're going to go in and bedazzle it and Mod Podge it and all that good stuff. Alright, so I am taking my small star cutter, and as you can see, I just went ahead and traced some stars with pencil on the board so that we could go in with a paint pen and color those in. So I'm just going all around the board and doing that. You don't really need me to show you, but I figured I would. Some people like to see it through and through. But I just went ahead, And all the corners. And you could even, what would make it easier is if you had, I think the dollar store sells like wooden star cutouts, especially for 4th of July and things of that nature coming up. So much easier, but I'm just using what I have. Do I want to go in the middle? I'm trying to decide how many I actually want to put on here. And I'm just doing this with a pencil so that it easily can be covered. I think I'll go all the way up. We're gonna have to go in and kind of touch up with some blue. I started early and it's smudged on the red, but you can kind of see the different stars. So I'm just gonna add a few more and then we're gonna go ahead and paint those. Alright guys, so what I think we're gonna do next is, because I wanna make the popsicle, I wanna somewhat make it into a fake bake, even though we're not really using too many fake bake products, but I still love that whimsy and the Candyland and nostalgia and just like things that look like candy and popsicles and all that fun stuff that is like fake bakes. So what I think I want to do is, as you can see on the popsicle, painted it. I want to create like a dripping effect up here, so we're going to use our foam clay to just outline it. So this is just foam clay. This is Modelite. It's from Walmart. It's about, last time I went it was $4.98 for a tub, but you get a lot in here. There's 213 grams, so it's quite a bit. And I'm just conditioning it. Now what I want to do is, I'm going to take about half and see how much that makes. So I'm just taking it, rolling it into a ball. I'm just going to start rolling it. Typically you have like a mat down, but we're just going to use this surface, this craft table. And we're just going to go ahead. We're not going to press too hard, but enough to get it expanding, and you just do that a little at a time. I don't want it too thin. We want to have enough to create, again, that dripping effect. Alright guys, so you're just going to take your Gorilla Glue. It's just a super glue. It works really well with our foam, a little bit better than hot glue. And then you're going to just draw out kind of that dripping effect like ice cream or hot fudge, or just things you see on an ice cream. And then you're going to take your clay that we rolled out and you're just going to go along that edge of the glue and create the look that you want. The foam works really, really well. It's very pliable and soft, so you can, even if you mess up a little, and you'll see I did here, I didn't really create as much of a dripping that I wanted to, so you're going to see me kind of trying to maneuver the clay and move it around a little bit, and it works because it's not dry, it's super soft. So it takes a little bit to get used to working with clay, so just give yourself some grace in working with that. But I think it came out great. So just go along the lines, fill it in, make it what you want, and then just make sure that you go around the sides as well to kind of cover the board. And then you'll see I roll out some more and I go around the top to create a border, and I think it came out really good. So that's what I'm doing there, is just pushing it around. Use your fingers and just kind of flatten it too, or if you want it more of like a puckered look, just go around and smooth it out. You can use some water too.
and to go around and kind of get like fingerprints out or any cracks or anything like that. That's what you see me doing there. It's just kind of smoothing things out. But foam is very forgiving and it gives a really nice 3D look.
Alright, y'all, so we got our hot glue gun on low temp, and we're going to take our little foam sprinkles that we talked about, and we're just going to place a few on the top here. White doesn't really stand out, but I think I'm going to still use it. Make sure you're definitely using low temp because this will, if it's hot, it'll just eat through your foam. Little strings. All right. Just like that. I'm just gonna leave 4 for now. I don't want it to be too much. I almost wish I had put less stars, but that's all right. Now, we are going to use Mod Podge. Now, when we start the Mod Podge, we have to be ready to embellish because that's what's going to hold it, the embellishments in place. So I have my Diamond Dust, and I have that mixed with Party Blend Glitter, just clear Party Blend. So I already have that mixed because I did a snow cone with that before. And so I just have it in a baggie, but I just mix that. There's no certain amount. It just gives it like a nice frosty look. So just Party Blend Glitter and Diamond Dust mixed together. So I have that ready to go. And then I have red, just solid red sprinkles. I'm gonna put some of those on. Alright, y'all, so we're going to work in sections. I'm just going to go ahead and, whoop, that was a lot of Mod Podge, but I'm going to go ahead and just go in all around the white, because that is where we are placing our embellishments on the top. So I just want to make sure this has a lot of coverage so that all of our fun stuff sticks to it. I'm gonna even we're just coating it again. Nice coverage so that everything stays okay. Alright, y'all, so I'm not sure if my camera didn't record it, but I just added the Diamond Dust Party Blend up top, as you can see, super sparkly. And now we're going to go ahead and add some Mod Podge. Alright, y'all, so I wanted you to see from this angle. I'm just going ahead and making sure that this is coated, especially the red part, because that's where we're going to put the Diamond Dust. And I'm going over the whole board because I do want to make sure that it's glossy, especially the wood pieces here, so they're not so rough. And then we are going to take our blend and we are going to just layer it on there. And it looks a little funky right now, but once it dries, it's so magical. This Mod Podge is really gonna hold it. And then add a little Darn Dust just on its own. Gotta get more of this. And then we're gonna go ahead and pat off the excess. Just turn it over. This is a big popsicle. Ooh, look at that. Gorgeous. Now we're just gonna let it dry. So here is the final product, y'all, on our Americana holiday seasonal popsicle. It came out so good. I added that little bow there, just a simple bow, and put a little Dollar Tree star on it. But this came out so sparkly. It's huge. You'll see me kind of pan back so you can get the full effect of how large it is. I'm going to go ahead and decorate my tree soon, but I just wanted you to see how much of a statement piece this is.